Good morning, my beautiful stitching friends. It is 8:51 on a Monday morning. It is November 22nd, 2021. You are visiting me in the Pooty Doo folds of a gray lilac thicket. Leaves on my willow tree are falling at quite a quick rate. I would say half of the leaves are down. No other tree in the yard has leaves, just the willow tree. But I can see far too much of my backyard neighbors now. And as I like to say, I don't need a lot of social interaction. I can stand at my front room windows or my bedroom windows and wave to the cars passing by. And that's enough social interaction for Sandy Joe. Excuse my cowlick. I swear there is nothing I can do with this. Nothing. It does exactly what it wants to do, and that's never what I want it to do. Anyways, it's been 2 weeks since I last came to you. When I made my last video, I believe it was on a Tuesday, and my mom's birthday was on a Wednesday. She had a wonderful birthday. We had a lovely barbecue dinner and birthday. There was just 8 of us there. And so it was small, and I really enjoyed my family a lot. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming because I am a solitary person. So it was just my siblings and their spouses and my mom and JD, who is my sister's father-in-law. He lives with my sister and her husband. JD's wife, Joyce, had Alzheimer's and she passed away very recently. So we had an incident with a blue heeler. My sister and Jason have a blue heeler. Her name is Rylie, and I'm not quite sure how old Rylie is. She may be like 4, and she's a busy dog, very busy. They're not tall. If you're unfamiliar with the breed, they're not a large dog. They're a medium dog. She's probably about, I don't know, maybe about 18 inches from the floor to her back, but she's long. Let's see, I don't know. Here we go. That's Rylie. She's a beautiful dog. She's got beautiful coloring. She's a catalog, and she's a busy girl, very busy. Well, we had finished dinner, and we were talking, and my sister was standing at the island in the kitchen, and we were at I was at the dining table, and I could see her face on. We were talking, and I saw Rylie stretch her front paws up to the countertop, and then start licking the frosting on the cake. Well, for just a moment, I thought there was a plastic, you know how sometimes they have that clear plastic protector around the cake? And so without saying a word, I said, so Ginger whirls around and she caught her. And there was no plastic protector around that. And nobody knew what was going on but Ginger and I. And Ginger started laughing, and then I can't believe it. And then, oh, it was hilarious. And we just started giggling, and what's going on? And so we finally told them, and everybody was cracking up laughing. But Riley's got this big, long tongue. And Ginger says, I guess that's my piece of cake. So Mom really liked her Coco Snowman ornament, and she really liked her spooky pillow or hang up, and so she was gobsmacked by those, and didn't say a lot about the books, but I know she'll enjoy them. So anyways, that's that. And also I did want to just mention this because this is certainly irrelevant, not irrelevant to cross stitch, but it is historical. And this is the 58th anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy, November 22nd, 1963. And I was 6 years old when that happened. I was in first grade. We were living in Sheboygan, Michigan. My dad was stationed on the Coast Guard cutter Mackinac on Lake Michigan, and we lived in an old house, the second floor of an old house. I believe it was the carpenters that lived downstairs. They were our landlords, but we lived upstairs. And what I remember was 6 years old. You honestly don't understand ramifications of things. You're just a little pod. And you know, if you've got a 6-year-old grandchild, or you remember when you were 6, you were just oblivious to the world going on around you. But we went home early from school, and I was excited about that. But I was very upset when I got home and found out that the Mickey Mouse Club was not on TV. And I could not figure out why. The same thing was on every single channel of the TV. And I think at that time there were like maybe only 3 channels. So ABC, NBC, and CBS. So yeah, I do remember it, and it does not because I knew who John F. Kennedy was. I might have had some concept of who he was because I came from a military family. But yeah, so that's really a day in history. It changed our world. It really did. And I know assassination of political figures has gone on as long as there have been people on the face of the earth. But yeah, it's rocked the boat. It certainly did. And so that is it for my opening. So let's get to some stitching. The first thing I want to say is I had just finished the snowman, I think it was, and I put the snowman together. And I said I was going to work on winter blues. I worked on winter blues for about maybe 10 minutes. And my heart just is not in this piece. And I finished up this first motif and went to the second, and that was it. I put it down. I just couldn't bear it anymore. And I was a bit depressed. So I don't know. I had gone through a stack of freebies, and I found one that I wanted to stitch. And so let me grab this. It's I Believe by Helga Mandel. And this is from The Gift of Stitching, issue 35, December 2008. It is stitched on Zweigert 32 count Belfast linen in pearl gray, and I did use the called for colors with the exception of 817, which is the bright red. I could not find 817. It's hiding from me, so I got out my color card and looked to see what color it was, and then I chose Anchor 46. Now, I really think this turned out cute. I love the bright colors. They're traditional and yet not traditional, if you get my gist. But anyways, it's a cute design. I love the cardinal. The cardinal is my favorite part of that. And I was just sort of enamored by the little presents and how they look like little presents, and they were just so simple. The bows on the top, yeah, like that. So anyways, I started that on November 11th, Thursday, and I finished it on the 20th at 8:31, which was Saturday, this past Saturday. There were days where I only put a few stitches in it because I would be working on like my needle free for all, my Facebook page there. So that's the extent of the stitching that I've actually completed or stitched on this past 2 weeks. And Saturday, when I was stitching, I went to look for something, and I pulled out one of these baskets behind me on the bookcase, and I found my next project. And I'm really excited about it. Very excited about it. And this is, let me take this out. This is from the magazine Cross Stitch and Country Craft, which is now an Annie magazine. No, Cross Stitch and Country Crafts is no longer being published. Annie's bought just Cross Stitch, which I stopped subscribing to because it's, when Annie's bought it, it stunk up the magazine. This is the November-December 1995 issue. And I happened to buy this pattern on eBay thinking I would get the magazine, and it was just the 2 pages of the, and I hate it when people tear up magazines. But anyway, it is called Gloria. It is designed by Patricia Andrelay, and it's O Gloria, Gloria in Excelsis Deo, and that translates to glory to God in the highest. And thank you, Leslie, for getting that for me. But I absolutely love it, and it is in the style of, I have stitched this designer before. I stitched Come All You Faithful by Patricia Andrell back in 1995. And hold on, I'll show that to you. And here it is. I'm getting a glare off of the computer, but you're getting a reflection off the glass too. But it's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And this It's got different kinds of stitches in it. It's got darning stitches, it's got hardanger, and the windows are actually hardanger. And when I had it framed, I asked them to put a gold mat behind it so it looked like that there was a light on inside the church. But this took me a year to stitch. It only has a few colors, but it was the first time that I really had attempted so many different specialty stitches. And I knew when I got done with it that I was going to have it framed like I think at this point I would have chosen a different colored frame, but it's got some metallics in it, and I think it's gorgeous. I just love the medieval style of it, and it does have a medieval style, but the ornate letters in it and such. And Gloria is not nearly as big as this. It is, let's see, the finished design size is 10 by 8.5, but it has also in it lots of Kreinik blending filaments. And if you see the border around it, it's a medieval kind of border on it too, and I just love it. I got this out to show you, but I'm also going to put this up on the fireplace mantle for the holiday season. This is one of my treasures, and I absolutely love it. Patricia Andrelay is the mother of Betsy Foster, Elizabeth Foster, who's also a cross-stitch designer. Designs by Elizabeth. She had stopped designing, I think, for a while, and she's back, but Patricia was her mother. And the talent doesn't fall very far from the tree, but this is just gorgeous. The Cross Stitch and Country Craft magazine had several of her designs featured in it, and I think there was a flower shop, and she did one that had like an imp or something, medieval imp in it. But Counted Illuminations was the name of the design company. So let me put this back. So this, I've got all of this kitted. I'm going to stitch it because I want it to bling like the Lord blings. And I've got it all kitted up. I need one color of floss, or excuse me, one color of blending film. No, it is the floss. It's 208. I cannot find 208 DMC, and it uses 7 or 8 different blending filaments. So that's going to be gorgeous because those are really royal colors. If you can tell that here. Purple, red, green, gold. And then there's like a silvery blue and a silver and a black. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. So, and the colors too match the colors of the Kreinik. So it's, you can see it's sort of a royal palette. But, and then I got a piece of 28 count white opalescent, and you can't see the opalescence, it's not, but you know what it looks like. And this was I didn't have to buy anything. The only thing I'll have to buy is the 208. I had everything else in my stash. So when my husband gets home from work, I'm going to take the car and I'm going to go up and have the pattern blown up, so it's easier for my old eyes to read it. And I honestly don't want to mark on this, even though I have the magazine downstairs. And I have this that I bought. But the only thing that I thought I was going to have to get some fabric. And I didn't want to spend the money. So anyways, that is my future plans. I plan on gridding it today. And I'm going to grid it with the Sulky Sliver. And my center line will be pink. And the rest of them will be blue. So, I'm going to grid. And I have something else that I want to show you that I'm going to be putting, because I dug it out and I'm going to put it up on the wall in the front room. Hold on. Okay, here it is. You see that? I wanted you to get a sense of the size of it. It's huge. Now this is not something that I stitched. However, my favorite cross, I spied it in my favorite thrift shop several years ago in 2017. I spied it in October, I believe. And they wanted $40 for it. And I wasn't going to spend $40. That was a lot of money. Not that this is not worth it. The stitching on this is superb. And I absolutely loved it. But I kept waiting for them to mark it down. And finally they had their half price day. And I got it that day. And I'll read you the story about that I had put on my blog. But this is just exquisite. The frame is a little bit dinged up, but that could be touched up. But he's going up on the wall because I just think he's magnificent. I absolutely love the border. It reminds me of the Patricia Anderle border. It's sort of like jewel tones and such. This sucker is heavy. This is funny because this was framed at the same place that my O Come All Ye Faithful was framed, CC and Company, where I briefly worked at as a failed, I was learning how to frame, and my quality of work was not to snuff. And I went to Kathy and I said, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this, but it's not working. So and anyways, Kathy was very gracious and she said, well, I wasn't ready to say no yet. I hope you'll still come and visit. And I don't really go up there much anymore. And it's not because of that. It's just because I'm trying to save money. I've got so much stash. So this is actually, I'm going to find the story now because I know it's here. Oh, heck, Sandy Joe. Here it is. Haha. St. Nicholas hiding at the thrift shop. St. Nicholas is a tricky old soul. I found him last month at the thrift shop, taking a long winter's nap before his busy season. He had convinced the senior ladies there that he would be safe from exposure if they put a price tag on him and hung him from the wall. Well, there are some super sleuths in the world, and I happen to be one of those lucky individuals that was gifted with super keen discernment. I discerned $40 was way too much money, even though he was divinely stitched and elegantly framed. The frame has a few dings in it, and I will try to cover them up. I held my breath and waited for St. Nicholas to go on sale. Friday, November 17th, was half-price day. The shop opens at 9 a.m., and I had to be to work at 9:30 a.m. I ran a reconnaissance mission Thursday afternoon, and the saint was still undiscovered, hanging up, although his snores should have awakened the dead. At 8:45 on Friday, I drove slowly up to the Target, scoping out the parking lot. No one was there. I skillfully backed my car into the nearest parking spot for a quick getaway. At 8:50, another car pulled into the lot, so I covertly slid out of the car and casually sidled up to the front door. Moments later, no more than 10 ladies lined up behind me. I slyly sized each of them up and decided I had at least 150 pounds over each of them. I could easily push and bump any of them out of my way should the need arise. At 8:55, I spotted a lady inside the shop dragging a 50% sale sign up to the front doors. As she unlocked the doors and was pulling it out, I asked if the shop was open now. Her response had a steely edge to it. Oh, why not? In I charged, faded to the right 4 feet, and with blinding speed and skill, snatched the unawares old man off of the wall and made a quick jog to the checkout, handed the elderly lady at the register a crisp $20 bill, and exited the door before anyone was even aware of what had just happened. I flew to my car and slid St. Nicholas into the front seat and triumphantly glided the vehicle out of the parking lot and got all the way to work without raising a single eyebrow. St. Nicholas is hanging on my front room wall, blissfully unawares and still sleeping. Won't he be shocked on December 24th when he opens his eyes and he isn't where he thought he was? So here is St. Nicholas, designed by Stony Creek from the Classic Collections published in 1995. I would like to thank Rita Rideout on Stitch Mania for helping me identify this beautifully stitched and framed treasure. I wish I knew who had stitched him. So that is the story of St. Nicholas. And he's going up on the wall for the month. I love him. And $20. Can you imagine stitching that up as big as that is, and it being somebody buying it for only $20? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's see here. What else do we have? Gloria did that. Freebie links. Okay. Let me grab something to drink here. There is, I'm looking for it now. Here it is. Lavender and Lace Angels from 1986 to 2005. There are pictures of them stitched on perforated paper. And when you click on the picture, you actually, on the Lavender and Lace site, when you click on the freebie link, when you click on the link to the angel, you just get the chart. And it's different when you actually see the angel stitched. There's a link below that, and I put that link into the notes below, that has them stitched on perforated paper, so that you can see what those years actually look like stitched up. And then you can click on that picture and it'll take you to the pattern. So that link is down below, and I just love seeing them, because really and truly you look at the chart and you think, okay, that's nice, but when you actually see it stitched up, lovely. Lovely. Also down below, I just found this yesterday. It was a tutorial on ruching. You know how they have the ruched trim around ornaments or pillows or whatever. Gosh, it's so easy. And that link is down below too. And actually what it is, it's just like a strip of ribbon, and then you stitch a zigzag down it and then pull it and you attach that. It's just wonderful. I like ruched trim. So that was a nice tutorial. And then this is a new designer, and someone on my Needle Free For All found this. This is Pigeon Coop. The Pigeon Coop, and this is a freebie, and I love the freebie. And actually I went and looked at this designer. He's a Canadian, I think it's a man. He's a Canadian designer, and I love the style. And I put stuff in the basket, and I went to hit pay, and I thought, no, you don't need that right now. And so I didn't buy them. I could still go buy them because they're still in the basket. But anyways, I love that. Ho 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 by Pigeon Coop. And it's not on Etsy. It's his own website. So that link to this freebie is also down below. I'd like to stitch that. And so that's it for the freebies and the tutorial. I like that ruching tutorial. I have a lot of ribbon around here. But one of the things that I have been doing, I've talked to you about, is the informal moratorium on buying stash. And I was thinking about what other things I could do for next year. And I think maybe next year, to help me be even more accountable, is when I publish a FlossTube video, is have how much I spent the last 2 weeks on stitching. And it'll be interesting to watch that as the year goes by. So yeah. And I was just thinking about Altoid. I saw an Altoid tin that I really liked. I saw oh yeah, and let me put this link, I'll put this link in down below. It's the Candy Cane Stitchers group on Facebook. They actually have in their file section a bunch of freebies, and one of them was Barbara Anna, and you know I like Barbara Anna. And that was that Christmas freebie was what was on the Altoids tin. And so I got to looking through Pinterest at the different Altoids tin, but then I got to thinking about it last night, and I pulled some of these things. And it doesn't necessarily have to be an Altoids tin. It can be any kind of a tin. And this is a gift card tin that I have. And it's already painted for you, but it would be very easy to find a round design to put on that. Now this isn't hinged like the Altoid tins are, but yeah, and you could even, on this, if I can get it open, maybe, yeah, see, here's what shows you how you could put present the gift card, but you could put a magnet in here, and then you could use this like as a needle minder. It wouldn't necessarily go on your piece, but it'd be sitting right there. But anyway, yeah, I have this, and then I had this one too. This is but this one might be a little bit different because it is in the shape of a gingerbread house. Might be a little more difficult to cover or find a design that's fitting of this shape. But then I have some, I'd gotten these a long time ago. These I bought on Amazon, several of them, and it's a slide, like a needle slide. But you could find little designs to put on the top of this, and this is light enough and small enough. You could make this a needle minder too, I suppose. But and then I was thinking about when we first moved in here, you know how they used to have the welcome wagon come? Well, I guess there is still sort of a form of a welcome wagon, but when we bought this house, we got something in the mail which was like, they were coupons or discount cards, and they were credit card shaped or gift card shaped stuff like this. And I saved them because I thought, what could I do with those? That's the hoarder in me. But I've seen people use them to make guitar picks, and I was thinking, you know, you could almost cut these in half and make these into needle minders too. Cover the top with some kind of cross stitch. You could paint it, or like a little cross stitch or something, and you could make a needle minder out of these. I tried to think of other things that you could do for them. But one of the most useless things, and this is my humble opinion, nobody else's, it's mine. Needle minders are a waste of money to me. And you can make your own needle minders if you like them. You can get those strong earth magnets and use those. But I've got maybe 10 needle minders, and that's like 9 too many. But I've seen people that have tons of them. Tons. And I think, I can find better ways to spend my money. And it's a good thing that I'm getting to be a cheapskate in my old age, don't you think? Much more discerning about where I spend my money. But anyways, so if you're interested in more freebies, you can always join my Needle Free-for-All on Facebook. The link to that is down below. You can send me an email. My email address is down below. You can go to my blog, which I intend to reestablish, I guess is the word, probably the first of the year. But on the left-hand side of the blog, there's over 250 links to free designs. Now, those links, I did go through those earlier this year, and I updated that. and I still continue to add to that list. So you can go and hit to my blog with the link down below and go and explore any of those freebie site links. So yes, I think that might be it. There's a lot here to unpack, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to have anything to say, and then here I just babbled on for 40 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to clean up and take my medicine, and then I am going to grid Gloria. Oh, Gloria. So anyways, and this is Thanksgiving week. Oh, and you know what? I wanted, maybe I'll save it till next time, or I can just paraphrase it, but it was Psalm 12. Help, Lord, for no one is faithful anymore. Those who are loyal have vanished from the human race. Everyone lies to their neighbors. They flatter with their lips, but harbor deception in their hearts. Because the poor are plundered and the needy groan, I will rise up. I will rise now, says the Lord, and the words of the Lord are flawless. You, Lord, will keep the needy safe and will protect us forever from the wicked, who freely strut about when what is vile is honored by the human race. And when Father Mike read that, I thought there is no more appropriate psalm that speaks to this time in history, where people refuse to see the truth, or they're so malignantly stupid that they can't grasp the truth. So try and bring happiness and love and goodness into the lives of the people that you touch at Thanksgiving. And I hope that you will always know that I love all of you. I care about you. And I pray for you every single night. And I feel so blessed that you're in my life. I am thankful for you. And I want nothing but the best for you, ever. So with that, I love you, I love you, I love you, and God bless.